Feels good. Check it. We the topic of discussion. Whisper in the ear, had a blush. Saying what it is, what it was. Baby, we the topic of discussion. Do you want to roll with a boss? You don't gotta worry about the cost. I'm high up, baby, I'm a star. I'm highly up, baby, I'm in charge.
Trill. Yeah. What's going on, everybody? As a commissioner, Rae Trilogy, man, and thank you for locking in with me with another episode of You Already Know What It Is. It's a commissioner's recap. Boom. You already know how we coming, man. Shout out to everybody, man, that's been supporting the show and showing nothing but love. I really appreciate it, man, from the bottom of my heart. Before we get started and everything with the show, man, let's get a word from our sponsors. Once again, you're locked into the commissioner's recap. You already know I'm the commissioner, Rae Trilogy, man. Don't forget, man, go download my new single, Topic of Discussion, out now on all streaming services. I also got some exciting news, man, coming the night of the big fight, Canelo and Crawford, man. I'm going to drop a new song, you know what I'm saying, called Trill. So, man, be looking out for that. We in the building, man. Once again, thank you, everybody, for tuning into another episode of the Commissioner's Recap. I'm so excited, man. I really am, man. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm really excited about the next guest that we got on air. You know, man, when I say I got nothing but respect for this brother, I got nothing but respect for this brother. I'm actually a fan. I'm a fan of what he's doing. He's educating without doing too much of the rubbish. You know, he's educating the young people. Even my son even rocks with him and be like, yo, Pop, did you see this new fight that he put out? Yo, he's actually educating the youth, and he's educating a lot of boxing fans of what's going on in boxing right now. He's not too much big on, on the compliments and stuff, so I'm going to respect his wishes. You know what I'm saying? But, yo, this is somebody, my last guest last week, the boxing man, my bro, man, he even mentioned this gentleman, and I had to let him know, like, yo, I got him coming onto the show. So it's a pleasure. It's actually my pleasure to introduce to you, everybody. I'm super excited, and I know y'all gonna be super excited too, to chop it up with the one and only G Chan.
Salute, man. Brother.
What's going on, my brother? How's everything, man? It's about time. I got
it's
you.
About time. It's been a while, and I'm looking forward to talking boxing, bro. I love talking boxing, and it's about time we chopped it up over an hour and just dived into everything. And really looking forward to this chat. And salute to everyone who's locked in and locked on.
Shout out to everybody that's locked in, man. Please come through, man, and don't forget to please like and subscribe to the channel. That's right, yours truly, Trey. You see who I got in the building, man. Listen, man, this is dope. This is really dope. You are a great boxing mind, man, and you're a historian to the game. I like to call myself a self-proclaimed historian, but you actually took that and you live it, and you really are a true example of that, man. I love your page, man. Please, everybody, when you get a chance, man, if you haven't, and I know that everybody that's gonna watch this already are following Mr. G Chan on X, and I know everybody is, man, especially if you love boxing. If you're not, and you're under some type of rock, make sure that you please lock in and with this brother here. There's a lot going on in boxing right now. I'm glad that I'm able to chop it up with you for this hour. There's a lot going on in boxing. I'm going to start right now with what's going on right now. And I'm not talking about Jake Paul and Tank, because we don't seen plenty of exhibitions between greats and non-greats before. We don't see Muhammad Ali do an exhibition. We don't see Floyd do exhibitions. And now Tank's getting there to do exhibitions. But we're not here to talk about the circus fights. We're here to talk about the main fight that's going down September 13th, and that's between.
Bruh, I'm looking forward to it, blood. Can't wait now. I'm desperate now.
Yes, Canelo versus Crawford, because that's the next big fight happening September 13th. Before I ask you who you're leaning towards, please, when I mention Canelo, when I say Canelo, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
The first thing, I mean, you think about me, you follow me on X. I'm not one of these fans who hates on boxers. I respect fighters. You understand? They get in the ring, they take the punches, not us. Yeah. And Canelo, I put a video out about it last week, actually. He's in the twilight of his career, in my opinion. You understand? He's been fighting for nearly 20 years now, bro. You know, a long, long time. And he's taken kind of, you know, easier fights and cherries over the last few years, but he earned the right to do that, blood. You understand? He fought champion after champion after champion, built his name, built his fan base, won hella straps, and now he's eating off it, brother, and easing himself into retirement. You understand? So, you know, whilst don't get me wrong, I would love to see him fight Benavidez and stuff like that. I know why he's never going to get a ring with someone like Benavidez, because he's at the end of his career now. You understand? He's fighting the Belangas and the Munguias and people like that, you know. And like I said, I ain't gonna hate on him because he earned the right to do that. So fair play to him, but he is in the twilight of his career and he is past his prime. Yes, salute Brett, man. Big up Brett. Oh, Brett is, man, top guy.
Yeah, he definitely is. Now the same question, but in reverse. Now on the flip side, when I say Crawford, what comes to mind?
Eye test. His greatness for me at the moment is based on eye test as opposed to resume. You know, like his resume for me is not. It doesn't equal his talent. You understand, Trill? Like for me, he's such a talented fighter. He's such a great fighter, but his record and resume, it doesn't show it right now. And this fight is a chance for him to solidify and do something historic and etch his name into history. He needs to win a fight like this. And so, yeah, that's what I would say. You watch Bud and you can tell he's elite, but he hasn't done it against the big names. You understand? It's not his fault, by the way. It's just the way things crumbled, you know, a little bit with the 147 division and being on the other side of the street. I don't want to get into all the politics, but so I think he's really putting it all. He's rolling the dice and taking on Canelo. And this fight for me, Trill, is huge. I've thought about it, and if Bud was really wanted the legacy team, he would just clean out everyone right now. All of you guys are excited about the 154 division. If Bud was really on the legacy piece, he would just blow everyone out in that division and just retire. Because I think he would probably beat, you know, most, if not all of them. So if he really wanted legacy, he could have 2-3 fights a year, clean the division out, and do that. But he's basically putting it all on this one fight now. Because I don't think after he fights Canelo and gets 100 M's, he ain't gonna get out of bed for 10 M's to fight 154, bro. Come on. Marvin Hagler told us that 40 years ago, blood. When you got the silk pajamas on, rude boy, you don't want to be getting up at 4 in the morning. You understand? And when he gets 100 million for Canelo, and if it's close, they'll do a rematch. So when he gets 200 million, bro, he ain't gonna come to 154, man. He's gonna be that and done. You understand? So for me, this is a huge fight for Bud to make his legacy, to put his name into history, and for Canelo, it's not to lose his legacy, because this fight, you know, there's a lot of talk in it that he lost to Floyd, he lost to Bivol. If he loses to someone who's come up 2-3 weight divisions, his history won't look back well on this man, on this loss. Believe me. As someone who looks at things, you know, over the last 30, 40, 50 years, it won't look well on him. I just know how narratives work and how people kind of remember fighters and fights. And so Canelo is fighting to save his legacy, but is fighting to create his legacy, like an all-time great legacy.
Yeah, I was saying that. So you think that this losing to a fighter with like Bud, right, who would prove his greatness in this era? Like, because I went on to say to people, like, later, 20 years from now, when our kids look back in the record books, because they're not going to be looking at names like they don't look at names and resumes now. They just look at accolades and stuff like that when we bring up certain people. They don't look like, oh, he fought him when he was older, or he fought this person when he was older, stuff like that. They only think about, like, accolades and things that they can see. Do you think in due time we're going to be talking about Crawford like he's Sugar Ray Robinson, because of what the record books say, being 3-time undisputed in 3 different weight classes, plus challenging himself, jumping from 150 war to 168? Will we start thinking about Crawford like we think about Sugar Ray Robinson?
See, this is where I have the what I say unpopular opinion, the opposite opinion, because look at like my account's nothing, yeah, but my brethren Steve Boxman, I don't know if you follow him, he's got like 300,000 followers on TikTok, 50,000 followers on X. So the content me and him post, what do we post? We post old fights, like classic fights. Mm-hmm. That's what people remember, Trill. You understand? Mm-hmm. No one, like, I don't put a post on X saying this guy, he got these accolades, like 2 division undisputed. I put a video of his fight, rude boy, when he's knocking someone out, a big fight. That's what the fans remember. Do you understand? I think that modern day culture is now focused on, Haynes undisputed. But in 20 years, no one's going to watch that Kambosos fight that he got undisputed in. So what they are going to watch is the Lomachenko fight, because that was a top fight. That was a great fight that he fought. So for me, like I said, my opinion is actually the opposite, I think, of what the kind of general culture is right now. And that I think what we remember are the big fights, the big nights, the build-up, the storylines. You don't understand? Like, we're not going to remember, he got, Bob was talking about his best fight being Ricky Burns. Blood, who's going to be posting Ricky Burns in 20 years' time? Question.
No. True indeed. I mean, some fights are stinkers, right? Some fights are stinkers. I would give you that. But when you talk about clips of Terrence Crawford, they will be showing the highlights. Like, we don't show all the fight. You don't show all the fights of every fight that Muhammad Ali. There were some stinkers. There were some stinkers that Thomas Hearns had, but we showed those successful fights. We showed the fights against Ray. We showed the knockout with Duran. We're probably going to show him knocking out Sean Porter. We're probably going to show his destruction against Earl Spence. What I'm talking about is the actual accolades. You know how, because we don't sit back and talk about Rocky Marciano and when he fought Westcott and he was how old he was, or when he fought Joe Louis or how old he was. No, we talk about the fact of the matter that he was undefeated, 49-0, and nobody goes back and fact check none of these joints. And what I was talking about is that all they go off is the accolades, how he was 49-0. They don't go back and say, he fought this guy and he was this old and this old. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was talking about. And I'm also talking about the fact of, how boxing is. You know what I'm saying? How boxing is now. Like you just said, they care about accolades.
Now, I just think if he beats Canelo, suddenly his resume, because you must see the talk online. He gets quoted for his resume all the time.
All the time.
You must see it, innit? So as much as you're saying everyone's gonna remember in 20 years, right now the narrative is your resume is weak, bro. So but the way things work, the way that things are so fickle. If he beats Canelo, suddenly that Errol Spence win gets uplifted. Suddenly the Sean Porter win gets, suddenly everything becomes better because it's a journey and you've been fighting these fighters and you've been getting undisputed, and then you had the big bomb at the end that you just, that's your career. Bang. He'll go down in history and be remembered forever because it doesn't happen. People don't move up.
I totally agree. I totally agree with that. It's because I feel like you said, Crawford has been given the short end of the stick. Yeah, his resume is not that, but people gotta, like I say this all the time, like I've been following Bud Crawford and Canelo for a long time. Like I tell everybody, I said that Canelo was going to be special when he beat Kermit Cintron. This was many moons ago, right? And then I also said about with the greatness of Terrence Crawford, how when he went, he was at 135, and he went last minute fight with no preparation. He went in there against Prescott, who was coming off of knocking out Amir Khan, giving him his first loss. And I said how he went in there and he beat Prescott. I said he was going to be special because he went back down to 135, finished business, grabbed the belt there, became undisputed at 140, then 147, and then, you know, champion at 154. And now he's challenging himself going against the guy at 168. You know what I'm saying? I said that he needs to be given his credit against going against somebody like Saul Canelo Alvarez. And something that you mentioned to me, you said that this fight, if Saul loses to Crawford, you said that his whole fight, everything will be thrown out the window. He will be considered a sham, you believe?
Not a sham, but things will get recalibrated, because the thing is, already people are saying, oh, he's fighting cherries, he's ducking Benavidez, he's doing this, he's doing that. Because what happens is, like, when people get used to you fighting big fights, fighting champions, like I said, he's now got to boss status, and he's eased himself into retirement, fighting Belanga, Munguia, and these men there, right? And he can still earn 20, 30 million and still do 500,000 pay-per-views and still fill out a stadium, because he's built his name and success. But already the kind of, what's the word, the sentiment and the narrative amongst the community is sort of turning that, oh, he's ducking this, he's ducking that, and if he now was to lose against someone who's moved up, let's call it, it's tree weights, bro, because Bud's had one fight at 154, one fight above 147. He's never taken a punch, rude boy, at middleweight. You understand? We haven't seen Bud even do a round, take a punch, throw a punch at 160 or 168. He's only had one fight at 154. If Canelo loses to him, I won't. But what I'm saying is, the wider community will start to recalibrate his career. That's how things work. That's how fickle things are in boxing, bro. You understand? Yeah, so yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I believe. It's only my opinion. You can agree or disagree. I think Canelo is fighting to save his legacy, or not to save it, to keep it intact. I say, because he's already built his success and done bits in the boxing. So I think he's fighting to keep his legacy intact, where I think Bud is fighting to elevate his legacy from best of this era to all-time great, to where we will be talking about this historic win for many years to come, for decades to come.
Yeah, definitely. Everybody's on the fence. Am I bugging? I've been going online, and everybody has, like, even I said it. And I'm gonna get to that in a second, because, you know, I'm old school, man. I believe in weight classes for a reason, right? And I said that if anybody can do it, though, if anybody can do who has shown us, it could be Bud, right? Now, I'm gonna get right to the nitty gritty, where everybody wants to know the $1 million question. Right, here's the $1 million question. Now the world wants to know, who are you picking on September 13th?
Bro, I literally change my mind every day, bro. You know what I mean?
That's what I was going to get to. Because have you noticed online, right? I know how you were saying about, you know, Canelo and his legacy, how he's been the bigger man and how it's going to be. Look, I already know. I agree with you. I know how it's going to be perceived if Terrence goes in there and he whoops him. I just wanted to hear you say it. So I get it.
Like I said, I'm not saying that's how I will. I'm just saying I know how the narrative works. Yeah, I know how agendas work.
Exactly. Yeah. So do you think, now I've been seeing the perception a little bit changing. I've been seeing fans switch, and fans saying, look how Bud looks. I had fans once who was that love Saul, but now posting pictures of Bud with the muscles and stuff, you know. Everybody coming out the woodwork. Everybody that was silent at first is coming out with the hope. You know what I'm saying? They coming out.
True. This is what a big fight is, rude boy. You understand? I want to have this feeling where 1 minute is it Bud, 1 minute is it Canelo. That's what a big fight should be. You understand? That's what we want. We don't want to go in to see one that's just a rollover, fam. You understand? So that's why I'm excited about this fight, because everything that I know in the last 40 years I've been watching boxing tells me there are weight classes for a reason. Canelo has taken, punches some Golovkin and Bivol. No one's knocked that motherfucker out. You know what I'm saying? So if we know already he's been chin checked. You understand? I can't see Bud coming up for 147 and knocking him out. I can't see that happening. So for me, I think Bud's going to have to win. He's going to have to outbox him, right? So everyone who's in the chat, have a look. I put a post on yesterday. It's got quite a lot of traction actually with the video, how Floyd beat him and stuff like that. And I think Bud is going to have to outbox Canelo over the 12 rounds, like Bivol did, like Floyd did, to beat Canelo. I don't think he's able to knock him out. But that's just based on the fact that I haven't seen Bud ever throw a punch in middleweight, and I've seen Canelo take shots flush from GGG and Kovalev, a man like that. So I just can't see Bud knocking him out if them man couldn't. You understand? So on that basis, for Bud to win, and I kind of hope he does, because it will just ruffle so many feathers. Like it's a kind of one of those things. It'll be just an amazing achievement. Do you know what I mean? If he was to go ahead and do it, But for me, he has to win the rounds decisively. He has to win the exchanges, in the rounds decisively, like Floyd did, like Bivol did, where the judges are they almost have to give it to Bud. You know what I mean? Because if it's close, it's going to Canelo, blood. Trust me. The 10 points is going to Canelo, and the 9 is going to Bud on a close round. That's the way it works in Vegas for Saul. Let's just keep it real. You understand? So he's going to have to dominate the exchanges and stand out. He can't be pot-shotting and hoping to win the round that way. He's going to have to win the exchanges with combinations, a bit like Floyd and Bivol did, you understand? So I'm excited to see if Bud can fight like that, because I've never seen him fight like that. He's normally the killer, you understand? He's normally the guy who's in there on the front foot and just serving, man, you understand? Like slaying them out. So this time, he's going to have a bigger, stronger man who's going to be just walking. Canelo's obviously past his prime now. He's a little bit flat-footed. He's a bit one-dimensional, but he's going to be swinging that left and right hook all night long, trying to take him out. So Bud's going to have to be able to box on the back foot and slip and move and win the exchanges with a combination, not a pot shot. If he tries to win it on the exchange on a pot shot, the judges won't give him the round. In my opinion, he's going to have to end the exchange with a combination that shows he clearly won that sequence 2 or 3 times in the round, and then he'll get the point for that round.
Yeah. I think about that Crawford. I mean, well, not Crawford. Canelo, for example, has lost his steps.
He has, clearly. I mean, it's evident if you've. I've been watching him for 20 years, you understand? So it's so evident that he has. But
so, what do you think about that? Like, with fighters, I don't know if it's having an echo. You got an echo over there?
My sound's all right, but
yeah. What I was saying was, do you think because what goes on with time is punch resistance goes. The older you get, punch resistance goes. You've been in this game for a while. Crawford hasn't took the type of punishment or been in the type of wars that Saul has been in. Do you think, Father Time catches up with everybody? So do you think that can happen to Canelo? He can get old overnight against Crawford, or it's just too much size? Or you think?
He can get old overnight. He can lose, but he'll lose on points. He ain't gonna get spun. He ain't gonna get sparked out, bro. Trust me. Like he's motivated. He knows what's at stake here. There is no way he's gonna get spun by Bud, because it'll just ruin his legacy like completely. I promise you, man. So if Bud wins, it's gonna be on points. I've thought about it. That's the one thing I'm certain of. The only thing that won't happen is a Bud KO. I think everything else could happen. Bud could win on points. Canelo could win on points. Maybe we don't know about Bud's chin at middleweight. Maybe he might not be able to deal with the power, and Canelo could get a stoppage. So those 3 outcomes are possible. The only one I think that isn't is a Bud KO, purely because Canelo's chin checked at super middleweight, and his legacy is on the line, bro. He ain't going to be going out on his back like that. Trust me, bro. Trust me. He ain't going out like that. in my opinion.
Nah, I feel you. Shout out to everybody that is locked in right now, watching right now. Shout out to everybody in the comment section. I appreciate you guys tuning in, and thank you once again to G Chan for chopping in with me, man. I really appreciate you coming through and chopping it up with me.
Who you got? Who you picking? By the way, you asked me. Who you picking?
You know me, like I said, I'm a helpless romantic, man. I believe in weight classes for a reason. You know what I'm saying? I'm old school, man. I'm sorry, man. I look young, but I'm really old, man. Like, oh yeah, man. I think that Saul, man, and the size will be too much. But if anybody can definitely win on points, and if he doesn't try to, Corey Spanks it. I remember when Corey Spanks got in there with Jermaine Taylor, and he tried to steal a victory. And at the end of the fight, he was running around with his hands up like he won the fight, fall to the ground and everything, like he beat him. No, if he goes in there and tries to do something like that, he will not beat the Saul Canelo Alvarez. If he goes in there, he's really in there. He tries to take some chances in there. I think that he can definitely win a decision. But he's got to be cautious. He can't be too brave. I think he has to box the best southpaw performance ever, and I think that he can pull it off if he's active with the jab. The jab has to be the focal point. He has to put that jab out there a lot. He can't let Canelo set. Can't let him set up. You know what I'm saying? Definitely can't do that. He got to pop that jab and keep his rhythm and his timing off. That's what I believe. You know what I'm saying? But if anything, man, I think that, Saul and the size. That's what I'm going with, my brother. Where does both fighters go from here, and who would you want to see Canelo or Crawford in there with if they win? Who would you want to see next?
To be honest, I can't see Bud. I think this is it for Bud. This is because the thing about Bud, right? I'll be honest with you. When he beat Spence in that post-fight press conference, he said, "I want Canelo," and I was just like, "Why are you calling out Canelo, bruv?" Like, I just think he wants that big last statement win and a nice cash out. Like, he hasn't earned the money. Think about it, Trill. It is, yeah. Think about how good Terence Crawford is, how much he's won, how many titles, how many accolades he's got. The guy, bro, they were calling him Kendrick at UFC, fam. Like, do you understand? Like, he should be an absolute superstar, but he's not. He's not. And I think he wants this Canelo fight to put him on that level. You understand? And I think once he gets 100 M's to this, if it's close, I think they'll do the rematch. He's gonna dip after that. I can't see Bud fighting again after this Canelo. I think there'll probably be 2 fights. I think he'll just dip after that. Canelo will just keep going because he's got a loyal fan base that will just turn up and watch him fight. But he ain't gonna fight a Benavidez or anyone like that, bro. He ain't gonna give them why. It's like I'm on the slide at the end of my career. Why am I gonna give you the satisfaction to beat me? Like, because let's be honest, Benavidez would beat him now. Like, he's young. Boxing is a young man's sport. You understand? And 5 years ago, Canelo in his prime, I think he beats the likes of Benavidez. Like, Bud wouldn't even be fighting him. It wouldn't even be a question. Yeah. The only reason why this fight is on now is because Canelo is at this stage of his career. Do you understand? So I just think, he might pick up, a few more paydays, and then he'll, I think what's the deal with Turkey? Is it a 4 or 5 deal?
I think he got 2 more after this fight with Turkey, and I honestly believe, and my hearts are hearts, that, like you just said, I think that Terence Crawford, if he does beat Canelo, if there's a rematch clause, if he wins, he'll definitely take that on. But I think he retires after that. Canelo, he will fight on, and I think that his next target will be Shiraz, Turkey's boy.
Yeah, that's a light work. That's a light work thing for him as well, isn't it? So that's the kind of fights that he's going to have now. Let's be honest, the 160. I mean, it stinks, bro. The welterweights, the 147, 160 divisions are awful. Absolutely. Like, they used to be glamour divisions, Trill. You understand? Like, truly glamour divisions. And, right now, welterweight and middleweight is weak, fam. And, so Canelo will pick up a few more paychecks, I think. But it depends. I honestly think that they'll probably end up being a rematch. You know how these things go, bro. You understand? Like, you know, if it unless it's like, you know, decisive. Yeah, unless it's a decisive win. If it's a kind of close one, then I think they'll probably end up being a rematch because everyone wants to make that dough, innit? That's the way boxing works, man. You know?
Yeah, definitely. This is going to be a big fight. September 13th is definitely going down, everybody. I will be doing a watch along, so make sure that y'all tap in for that. Once again, man, you are locked in with the commissioner's recap. I got G Chain in the building with me, and it's actually dope having them in here. We holding it down. We're holding it down, moving right along here. Here we go. It was recently announced that Sebastian Fundora will take on Keith Thurman October 25th at the MGM Grand Arena in Las Vegas. And O'Shaquie Foster will defend his WBC super featherweight world title against Fulton. And on the undercard, Romarsh Jr. versus Shane Mosley Jr. and Detroit's own Tony Harrison versus the young undefeated Mexican prospect Isaac Sura. I don't even know if I'm saying his name right, but who's been on a knockout streak. What do you think about this card that is coming up right now?
Yeah, it's a decent card. I'll be honest, like nowadays, I kind of rebranded my page Trill because I'm just not inspired that much nowadays about the kind of current state of boxing, and that's why nearly a year ago, maybe 10 months ago, I just rebranded my whole page as a Golden Era page now because I just watch old fights because I grew up watching it, and it's what's the word? When I think about boxing, it's the 80s and 90s and the early 2000s. That was boxing for me, and I just get frustrated now. So now I lock in and watch the big fights. Don't get me wrong, I love the sport, but I don't get involved in all this talk. You know, who's fighting this and that and whatever. So, like for me, Thurman's washed. So like he was one time.
Keith one-time Thurman.
Keith one-time Thurman, bro. Do you remember when he fought Danny Garcia? He fought Sean Porter. He fought who else did he fight? Yeah, he had that run, bro, where he was just at one point he was like the king of the welterweights, fam. You understand? Like he was on a really good run. Then he done it. What did he do? His shoulder, I think, and he was out for like 2 years or something, and he lost his hairline. And he come back and he's like Samson, bro. He's lost his hair and he's lost his strength, rude boy. He's done now. So good luck to him. You know, like I said, he's a character, and I wish all boxers well. But for me, he's washed, man. And I'm not really, what's the word? Excited about that particular fight or anything like that. But Boots Ortiz, that will get me going. Something like that. You know what I mean? A fight like that.
Yeah, they were saying make it two weight time champion against the young fighter and Fundora. I say no. I think it's a tall order. I think Fundora is hard to beat. I think a guy like Fundora with his height, and if he can stay disciplined in his range like he did before, he's going to be hard to beat. It's not going to be nobody that could beat this kid.
He's so tall and skinny and rangy, and he was looking good. Then he had that one bad fight, didn't he? And everyone was like, whoa. But then he come back and looked all right in the last one.
That's couple of weeks after that.
Trill, do you remember Keith Thurman against Sean Porter? That is one of my favorite welterweight fights.
Yeah, I thought that was a great fight. I thought that was a great fight. I thought that was like both guys, winning there. That was a draw. That was like a draw. Like even the fight with him and Danny Garcia, I could see a lot of people calling that a draw, or Thurman inking it out by a round or two. But those was tough fights, and both of those guys winning there. We didn't get a chance to see the Earl and Thurman, but yeah, at that time, Thurman was doing his thing.
I'm telling you, at that time, he was like one of the main stars at welter, fam. You understand? And that shoulder injury that kept him out for a couple of years. It just, that really, because then you had Errol who had an accident, you had Thurman who was out. It kind of all fizzled out a bit, didn't it? The welterweight. It was popping at that point, bruv. It was popping. Errol on his come up was amazing. Really enjoyed watching him. Like I said, Thurman Porter is one of my favorite fights at welterweight. It was brilliant, man. Honestly,
that was really a great fight. I agree with you. That was definitely a great fight. Thurman versus Fondora, man, I think he's gonna be a champion, not only in this division. I think he could be a champion all the way up to 175. He has the range to do it, and if he could put on the weight the right way. I always joke with people. He reminds me of the villain guy. I forgot his name from 300. How tall and lanky he is, and how he comes.
Yeah, I know you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm definitely going with Fondora that fight. But it's good to see Keith Thurman back in there getting those checks. I really don't be counting people's pockets. But he hasn't fought.
Good luck to him, man. Good luck to him. But I think he's food now, bro. If I'm honest.
Yeah, he definitely is food. I think he is, especially for Fondora, who is showing that he's just a different type of man, and he's a great kid. Like he got this thing. Got a violent streak in him once he gets in that ring. But outside of the ring, don't get it twisted. He's a great kid. He's a great young man, and that's how he lives his life. Him and his sister. Shout out to Gabrielle. You know what I'm saying? To me is one on my top pound for pound list as far as the women go. She's up there, my top 3 right now. You know what I'm saying? She's an amazing.
That's his sister, right? His sister, isn't it?
Yeah. She's the Cheryl Miller to his Reggie Miller because she's incredible.
Yeah, it's amazing, that brother and sister, isn't it? Like it's amazing, man. Like,
like I think the Dubois sister, I think she's better than Daniel Dubois as well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Caroline Dubois is she's the truth, man. Yeah, I've seen her fighting.
You know what I'm saying? But on that card is also Stephen Fulton against O'Shaquie Foster. I think that is a good fight. Co-main event. Could have been a main event. Excuse me.
Yeah, man. Like, good luck to Scooter, man. Scooter, he won my respect when he went over to Japan and fought a Inoue. Because the thing about me, Trill, I respect fighters who step up and take the big fights. It doesn't, boxing, right? Boxing is you want to test yourself and see if you're the best. Fight everybody in your era, and at the end of the day, we'll see who's the king and who comes where. But fans will respect it more. Every time Scooter puts a tweet on, look how many Japanese fans will be in the replies. People in Japan respect the fact that he came over and fought their guy. And this is what boxing is. This is the essence of the sport, bruv. You know what I mean? It's fight the best. Even if you lose, if people will still respect you for having the minerals to step up and take these big fights and go for unifications. You're gonna win some, you're gonna lose some. That's the game, man. You understand? And yeah, good luck to him. I'm pulling for Scooter on that one. I hope he gets the job done.
Yeah, shout out to both kids, man. I really don't have a dog in that fight, man. I really like both gentlemen, man, and definitely what you were saying to Scooter, man. I definitely love the fact that how he came back. I think he needed that rest. A lot of fighters, after they get in a big fight or get knocked out, they try to get back in there with a good fight, and then it doesn't go too well, because they rush to. And I think the rest benefited him more than it hurt him, and we can see
looked
that.
Good. He looked good. He looked good in his comeback.
He looked amazing. Then in the Brandon Figueroa fight, I thought that the first time that they came across, I thought it was a draw. Maybe even Figueroa kind of edged it a little bit. Not this time around. He schooled the young man. It was a wash. It couldn't.
It was sharp. It was sharp, man. He was looking crisp.
He looked amazing in there, man. It was incredible. And then you got so I'm looking forward to that fight. And both guys been calling each other out. O'Shaquie Foster has been wanting to test himself against somebody like a Stephen Fulton. He's been looking for an opponent. And he can't get in there with my homeboy Raymond Savage, but he's getting in there with a true test, and that's Stephen Fulton. And we're gonna see where both guys go. I'm leaning towards Stephen Fulton with the more experience, more cleaner boxing. But shout out to O'Shaquie Foster for wanting to test himself. Like, even though it's Stephen Fulton who's coming up in weight. Shout out to Romas Jr. against Romas Jr. is moved up in weight, like somebody said in the comment section. Let me find that comment section. He said it right here. Champion says 154 is lucky. Romas had to move to 160. Shaking my head. I told you, he was a beast at 154. He was extra big. Romas will be taking on the son of a legend, to a lot of people, Sugar Shane Mosley Jr., who to me had a hard road to get here. I have a lot of respect for Little Shane. That's what I call him, Little Shane. I got a lot of respect for Little Shane. No handouts given, no easy road. He had to earn it on the job the hard way like a man. And shout outs to him. We seen him do it. He beat the Gabriel Rosados and all that, man. We seen him lose, and we seen him get these hard, tough wins. So shout out to Sugar Shane Mosley, who, you know, he didn't do it with the extra fanfare that everybody else got. He did it the hard way. You know what I'm saying? His way. He didn't
respect to him, fam. Respect to him.
Definitely. He didn't want no handouts and no helps from his pop. So I gotta respect him in that fight. Even though I think this is a tall order. Romance Jr., I think this is a tall order, even though Shane Mosley Jr. has been in there and gained some notable fights and a notable win here and there. But I think this is just too much for him. He's the type of guy who's learned on the job, Sugar Shane Mosley Jr. But I think just the size of Romance Jr., even though Shane has competed here at 160 before, I just think Romance Jr. is just a different type of guy, different type of level, and I think he will wear down Sugar Shane Mosley. But it's good to see Sugar Shane Mosley in there. How do you feel about that fight with Romance Jr. and seeing Sugar Shane Mosley Jr.?
You know what I mean? I'm not kind of guy who bluffs it, fam. I don't know enough about each of their careers to kind of, you know, break it down and give you an informed opinion. So wherever you say, fam, I'll run with that. You understand? You're right, you understand?
Good. And we're going to be ending it with Tony Harrison. That's going to start off the card, and this young upstart who's just been knocking everybody out. Tony Harrison, I think they're using him as food because he's the older guy and he has seen better days.
Speaking I think that is what it is. It's a chance to look good against someone who's people knowing it, basically. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah, definitely, man. Once again, man, thank you to everybody in the comment section, man, that is coming through, showing love. Thank you to everybody that is tuned in right now, watching right now, live on X or on YouTube. I really appreciate you, man. It means more than you ever know. This is the Commissioner's Recap. I got G Chan in the building with me. G Chain in the building. I don't know why I keep saying Chan. What's wrong with me?
I'm half, man. I'm half mixed race. I'm half. My mum's from Macau anyway, in Hong Kong. Okay. So yeah, that's probably why, bruv. Nah. Rush hour, man. What are you saying? What a rush hour thing.
I haven't had no rest, man. I haven't had no rest, but I'm excited to have you on. Everybody go follow him right now on X and get your history up. You dig? G Chain in the building with me right now. So thank you everybody for watching. Thank you for everybody.
Yeah, I can't see like who's commenting. So salute whoever's here, man. Respect, big up yourselves. Yeah.
Thank you. Please like and subscribe. Don't forget my new single, Top of the Discussion, out right now on all streaming services. And on September 13th, when we do the watch along, I'm going to be introducing a new song called Trill Fiki. And thank you, everybody, for all the support and all the love, man, that y'all have shown me. It means a lot. Right now, I'm going to get into this part of the show where I get to chop it up with you, man, because this is what I've been wanting to do for a long time. So I'm gonna start here because, like I said, you give history lessons. You give history lessons.
True, I'm just a boxing fan, and
I know you're a boxing fan.
I love the golden era.
Lessons. If you see the comment sections, you'll see people be like, "Oh, I didn't know this, I didn't know that, man," and thanking you and praising you for the knowledge and everything, and for being a fan and being a historian of boxing, for sharing these clips. Because, like I told you before, even my son will hit me up and be like, "Yo, Pop, did you see this joint right here?" I'll say, "Oh, yeah, I seen that knockout. He was showing me the Julian Jackson joint." You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
yeah, I had to go back and I had to tell him. I had to show him about other fighters and stuff that he didn't even know about, man. So thank you to you, man, because you definitely educate people and people definitely love your page. So everybody, if you've been under a rock and you don't know who this gentleman is, man, please go to X right now and go to G Chain right now and go follow this brother on X. You will be won't be disappointed. I promise you that. I'm about to show.
On that note, one I'm a pretty modest person. I don't really like sort of this kind of stuff. But one thing I would say on that is I do appreciate there's a lot of young'uns who follow me who will say, "Oh, you know, this fight is amazing. I'm going to go and watch it now." And I enjoy seeing that reaction because I'm a boxing fan and I want people to enjoy the sport. You understand? And when they see this fight, they can't believe George Foreman done that to Frazier. They're like, oh my God, I want to go and watch it now. Like, can you send me the link? Or like, that makes me happy that people want to embrace history, want to embrace the greatness and improve their what's the word, scope of understanding and knowledge on the sport. So I do actually enjoy that part of it, as much as I don't like the kind of, you know, like you said, the kind of compliment stuff like that. I do like it. And, you know, what I would say is a lot of young'uns are respectful as well to me. They call me Uncle OG. Like, no one starts chatting nonsense on my page. And so, yeah, I do appreciate that. The little community that's here, they appreciate the kind of posts, and they don't take liberties. You understand? They don't talk to me in a way which is disrespectful. And yeah, so big up everyone who's like you said, getting involved and engaging in the content, man.
Definitely. This is the part of the show that I was excited to do. You know what I'm saying? Yes, definitely true. I love the energy of this show, man. I've been excited to definitely do this show. This is actually one of my faves, man, that I like to. Yes, thank you, Rob. I'm giving you a follow on X as well. He's giving you a follow. I was really excited about this, man. And this is the part of the segment where, you know what I'm saying, I want you to shine, my brother. I asked you a personal question. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to play a clip, and I want you to tell me when the clip is done, what do you think? What's the first thing that comes to mind, right? Here we go. Here's the game we're going to play before we end this this broadcast. Check this out.
Right hand. Another sneaky right hand. This time he works over the shoulder of Foreman. The combination. Three. Gets up to the knee. Eight. That's it. The fight is stopped. Muhammad Ali. A dramatic 8-round knockout.
Thank you. Thank you. So what do you think about that? As soon as you see,
I'm very passionate about these kind of fights, man. The Rumble in the Jungle is the biggest, most notorious fight in boxing history for me. For me, it is, because one, it was held in Zaire, you know, so our people get a chance to kind of see, you know, boxing live, and it's expanding the sport and touching Africa and stuff like that, which for me is important. You know, Joe Frazier and George Foreman fought in Jamaica. Do you understand? Where, like, you know, the Caribbean was my reason. And then George Foreman and Ali fought in Zaire. Do you understand? So these kind of things are very important for me as well. You know, but this fight, the Rumble of the Jungle, George Foreman, before this fight, the way that he destroyed Joe Frazier and Ken Norton is scary, bro. He literally destroyed them both in like 2 rounds. You know what I mean? Like, destroyed them. And going into this fight, Rumble and Jungle, no one thought Ali could win this fight. No one, bro. Literally no one thought he could win it. He was a 6-1 underdog. 6-1. You tell me an undisputed fight that we see nowadays where you, at that level, where there's a 6-1 underdog involved, you know. And the way that he won as well was he dropped, you know what I was saying earlier about Bud. Bud has to do something different to win this fight against Canelo. He can't go in there and be the aggressor, because I don't think he can stand and trade with someone like Canelo. So I think he's going to have to do something different, show us something special. Ali, he brought in Larry Holmes and a couple of other big hitters, and he trained his body to be able to take the punishment. The way that he beat George Foreman was mental warfare, taunting him, and making him gas out. He knew he could not stand there and fight George Foreman, because he's going to be on the floor after 2-3 rounds. You understand? So he had to do something different. And what he done was he taunted Foreman, made Foreman gas out. And when
that's all you got, George?
Huh?
That's all you got, George?
That's it. And then Foreman, he broke his heart. Foreman thought, I've spent 6 rounds pounding away this guy with everything I've got. But and Ali he said he was in a lot of pain, but he'd conditioned his body. He had Larry Holmes throwing hooks to his body for months, bruv, you know, to toughen himself up, ready to fight George Foreman. I put a post on that last week. Go check it out. You can see the sparring footage and stuff like that. And So through mental warfare and the rope-a-dope and making Foreman gas out, he knocked out the monster in George Foreman. And we don't see victories like that. You know what I'm saying? We don't see it. And in under that pressure, in that big a fight, there was 1 billion people watching around the world. It was the biggest live televised event in human history at that time. Not in sport, in human history. I'm talking about politics, you know, speeches from Kennedy and whoever you want. You know, it was the biggest live globalized event because Muhammad Ali was the icon of the 20th century, man. You understand? And that fight, for me, is the biggest fight and the best heavyweight title win in history, too, for me.
No, I have to, man. That was a victory. And shout out to Muhammad Ali, too. I remember watching the speech before going out to fight Big George. And he was like, man, I'm the one going out here and fight him. Wipe that look off your face. I'm the one going in there. If y'all don't think I can win, man, keep yourself back here, man. But sure, I think I could do. I think, that was one of the he had the biggest self up. He had to give himself that speech, and he got to give it to the people around him. I think that was a great moment as well that gets overlooked. He did a lot in that fight, from taunting him, like you said, saying, George, you can't, is that all you got, George? Is this all you got, George? To the fact of doing the rope-a-dope and everything. That was actually a great fight and a great moment in time. Now I'm gonna go to another fight. We're gonna go a little bit over time, but that's okay because we got G Chain in the building with me right now.
Yeah, let's do one more. Yeah, come on.
We got some more. Don't even worry about it. We got time. We got time because it's you. You know what I'm saying? It's a special guest, and we got you in the building, so it's all good. This is how we doing it right now, and I think everybody appreciates it. Everybody appreciates it, and they love the fact that we got you on here, man. It's actually a good thing to have. Here's another one. What do you think after you see this clip right here?
Leonard may have pulled it out with the 15th round. Leonard bombing away, and Duran apparently feels he's won this fight and doesn't have to fight the 15th round. There's the clock. 7. I can't believe it. 6. I can't believe it. 4. Duran thinks he has won the fight. I can't believe it. The bell. It's over. He thinks he's won this fight and didn't have to fight the 15th round. I think he thought so. He thinks he's won. I think he thought he won.
Duran was a dog, man. He was just different. Duran was, I won't shake hands or nothing. I just beat you. And I think he went in here was talking mess to Wilfredo Gomez afterwards. Wilfredo Gomez after the fight, he was talking mess to him outside the ring. It was crazy. Duran was just a different type of guy. You know what I mean? Different type of warrior. The brawl in Montreal. What do you think when you see that clip?
Like, for me, if you're talking about an actual boxing bout, this is the greatest fight in history for me. If you know, as far as a boxing bout is concerned, obviously I love the Rumble Jungle because of the history and the magnitude of it. I love Hagler and Hearns because it was just the greatest shootout in the history of the sport. But if you're looking at a boxing bout, for me, this is the best fight. I mean, there's so much to this fight. I mean, Duran was the lightweight king. Yeah, he was 72-1 at lightweight, and Sugar Ray Leonard was the welterweight king and the kind of poster boy of boxing, the Olympics and stuff like that. He actually won. The reason why the fight was in Montreal was because Sugar Ray Leonard won gold in Montreal in 1976, and so he kind of wanted the fight back at Montreal. But the build-up of the fight was epic. Trill. It was like basically he only offered Duran 15% of the purse, and Duran he reluctantly accepted it, and because of that he was so rude and offensive in the build-up. Bro. I don't know if you remember. He was
disrespecting him, disrespecting his lady. He was going crazy.
Like in the presser, he used to wait outside the hotel. And when she was getting in her car, it's just like saying to her, like, when I beat your fella, you're gonna come and, like, you know what I mean? Like, he was just an animal, like literally, like just ruthless. But
he was rushing Ricardo Mayorga at that time.
Trust me, yeah, you know, innit? So he was on smoke, and he was desperate to kind of put one over Rae because he felt disrespected about the purse and the fight conditions, and he was having to fight in Montreal, which was Rae's choice as well. But he got into Rae's head. The reason why he won that fight, he got into Sugar Ray's head, and he made Rae fight his fight. He made Rae fight Duran's style fight. You understand? Rather than being a boxer and mover, Rae was so upset about how he insulted his wife and everything like that he went, because Rae is a brave brother, man. You understand? Like, he's fought Tommy Hearns, he's fought Hagler, he's fought Duran. He will stand there and fight. But Duran was the one who managed to get in his head. And that's why we have such an amazing fight of fireworks, round after round after round of just amazing boxing. I've watched that fight so many times. Sometimes I watch a fight and just watch their feet, bro. Do you know what I mean? And just watch the movement, like the foot movement. Other times I'll watch Duran's parries, what he does. Other times I'll watch Rae's combinations. Like, I learn something new every single time I watch that fight. And it captured the imagination of the public. 300 million people worldwide watched that fight, bro. 300 million people. It set the record for the highest purses ever in sports as well. So it's a historic fight, bro. It really, really is. And it lived up to the billing, and it was just incredible, man.
Nah, it definitely was a big fight. We was giving Duran his flowers, but shout out to Sugar Ray Leonard, man, who's also was a dog. He's been in there with everybody from my favorite Tommy the Hitman Hearn to Marvelous Marvin Hagler. He's been in there with everybody. He didn't duck no smoke. Maybe didn't give it to us the times that we wanted, at the times we wanted, rematches, because he was the boss, so he could pick and choose when he wanted to do whatever he wanted to do. But Ray was a dog. Inside,
he came out on top. If you look at the Four Kings, he's the one who came out on top, Ray. On paper, So
and he was
I love all four of them. Tommy Hearns is obviously my favorite, as you know. I'm a massive Tommy Hearns fan. It's funny because the day I was born, bro, my dad always said he knows why Tommy Hearns is my favorite fighter, because I was born the day before his first title fight, and my dad had me in his arms while he was watching Tommy Hearns against Pepino Cuevas, and that was Tommy Hearns' first title win, man. And so funny enough, 45 years later, bro, I'm not his biggest fan, but I love all the Four Kings, though. You know what I mean? I love they're all brilliant, man. They're all great. And I celebrate all of them.
It should have been 5 kings. It should have been the 5 kings of boxing at the time. Benitez, and that's who I meant to say when I said Duran and said Wilfred. I don't know what I was thinking about. I was probably thinking about Salvador Sanchez, but I remember when Duran went over there and was taunting Benitez after that brawl in Montreal. And shout out to Sugar Ray, whose actual sister actually was married to Benitez. You know what I'm saying as well.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Okay.
Exactly. Hey, man, listen, I'm a boxing historian, and just like you, Sugar Ray Leonard is my guy. Sugar Ray Leonard is my guy. Like I said, he was a warrior inside and outside the ring. I'm actually looking forward to doing the interview with Sugar Ray once I can, because everything he's been through as far as boxing and outside of boxing, man, I think he has a lot to offer to the people. People that
if you can interview him, that would be amazing, bro. Honestly, he's like literally one of the true goats of boxing. He's in everyone's top 5. You understand? So
I think that I can make the people cry. I think there's a lot of things that people don't know about Ray that I know that when I bring out to the light, people are going to have a tremendous newfound respect for Ray Leonard and everything that he has to endure as a youth and coming into boxing. He's really a tremendous fighter. Moving right along again, I'm going to show you one last clip, because you told me that, and I want you to tell me, I got a special one after that, but here's the clip. I want you to tell me, what do you think once you see this?
Wild left hand. It has to be impeding his vision with the right eye. You never know it, though. Tremendous right. Hearns appears rubbery. He appeared that way in the second round.
Richard Steele is breaking these fighters very quickly. That's uncharacteristic of him. It's hurting Hagler because he wants to work inside. Hearns is smiling, but he's taking shots.
Another right hand. Hearns turns his back, takes another right. Hearns in deep trouble again. Hearns is down. Hearns is down in the third round and on his back. And he's not going to beat the count. I don't believe. Tommy Hearns tries to get up, and
They've got to stop this fight.
Does he get up? He just does no. He can't continue. It's Hagler, full of blood.
Yeah. First thing, my brother, G-Chain. What do you think?
It's just simply the greatest shootout in the history of the sport, bro. And you know, like, you know, all the build-up to it was, you know, there's a lot of talking in it, but these two, they're what I call real men, blood. You understand? Like, these are proper specimens, bruv. You understand? Of the male, of the male gender, man. And all the talk about, yeah, let's come and then meet me in the middle of the ring. We hear it all fighters say it all the time now, innit? But if you watch Tommy Hearns walk as soon as the opening bell rang, the aura strut he done, and then he ducked under Hagler's kind of gazelle signature punch. I just knew in the first 3 seconds of the fight, we are going to have what we all dreamed of, bro, what we all salivated over. And it was fuck talking, fuck boxing, fuck the belts. This is me and you. Who's got the minerals? Who's it's a G check. That's what I call it, bro. You know, like, we call it a G check, bro. It was a G check. And Hagler come out on top, man. So fair play to him, innit? But they're both remembered as fondly as each other because it takes two to tango. And that's the key about boxing nowadays. You know, it's okay to lose if you're in a fight like that, bruv, because people remember both fighters, you understand? You know, and that first round, Tommy had Hagler cut, he had him rocked, and Tommy broke his right hand, man. And so obviously he's going to be sort of, you know, what's the word, handicapped after that, man. But it was just an amazing fight. It's still the record on CompuBox for the most power punches thrown. There were 4 jabs thrown in that first round. Everything else, 90 power punches landed, bro. 90. So, bro, it's just, like I said, the greatest shootout in the history of the sport, and one that I just will never get fed up watching that first round, ever, basically.
Yeah, while we was talking and you was telling me that the 3 fights right there, and I'm glad we got a chance to chop it up, man. Those fights were amazing, man. Especially the Thomas the Hitman Hearns and Hagler fight. I'm not even gonna lie to you, man. I was heartbroken. I was in pieces. Injury, my favorite show at the time. Actually, it was my sister's favorite show at the time, but we only had one TV. It was a floor model TV in the projects. So I had to watch it, man. It was insult to injury. The very next day or the next week, you know who was on our show? Was Marvin Hagler. He appeared on an episode of Punky Brewster just to rub it in that he you know what I'm saying? Thomas the Hitman Hearns. I'm sure
I'm Team Kronk, fam. I'm Team Kronk, bro. I'm Tommy Hearns all day, every day. But like I said, it takes 2 to tango, and that fight is Hagler Hearns. It's not Hagler won. It's Hagler Hearns because you know, they both put everything into the fight, and they both put it on the line, and it was incredible, bro. Really, really was, man. It was a special fight.
I have a big honorable mention video that I wanted to show you. Actually, this fight to this day, this round, actually, to me, like that round we just showed, was one of the best rounds ever. You know, it still gives me chills. It still gives me chills to this day. I even tear up when I see this. When that's time for me to go into the gym, or if I know I'm sparring one of the young fellas or something, I got something going on, I watch this video for motivation because it gears me up all the time and it gets me going. I want to know what you think about once you've seen this clip right here. Actually, I'm trying to tell everybody, gives me goosebumps every time. This was a wonderful round.
Corrales, despite his... There goes Corrales. A sharp, accurate left hook to the face for Castillo. Will he get up?
6, 7, 8. Come to me. You all right? You want to continue? Okay, here we go. Time. Come in.
His mouthpiece was knocked out. He'll get a few extra seconds here.
Put it in.
Joe Goosen smartly, very slowly, putting it back in. It was a one-punch knockdown. Corrales in deep trouble, obviously.
He's in big trouble. I think he's done.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Come here. You all right? I'm going to penalize you. Take the 1 point off. Time.
Now this is really becoming a huge round for Castillo. If the bell, he's taking a point away from Castillo, from Corrales, for spitting out the mouthpiece. They're losing the mouthpiece twice.
He didn't even know what happened.
Here we go.
I think
this could be a 10-6 round then.
Could be.
he didn't know he dropped the mouthpiece. He didn't know it. Boy, Castillo looking to finish this thing up. Corrales, a desperate fighter, and a right hand for Corrales staggers Castillo. Oh my goodness. Can he survive this? A left hook, Castillo staggered once again. Both fighters, but Castillo won't go down. He's never been down.
I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like this.
Left hook from Corrales. Castillo's wobbly. Now here comes Corrales. Unbelievable! 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 Unbelievable!
Talk about determination. Talk about the will to win. Talk about tremendous heart. Rest in peace, Diego Corrales. What comes to your mind when you see that fight?
I mean, it's just one of the greatest comebacks ever, isn't it? Really, bruv. It really, really is. Everyone knows this round 10, you know, to get Chico against Castillo. And I was a big fan of Chico, man. So, you know, I love watching him fight. He was always in exciting fights. And it was just amazing. I mean, it's probably the best fight since the turn of the century, I'd say, really. You know, I don't think there's been a better fight since the turn of the century. And that comeback, you know, I know people say about the mouthpiece taking it, and you know, like maybe Castillo would have got it and stuff like that. But he's all the old tricks, fam, isn't it? Like, you know what I mean? This is boxing, it's a fight, and you got to survive, bruv. You know what I mean? You got to go to the well, and Chico went to the well, and he had the answers there, bruv. In the darkness, he had the answers, man. And he came back, and you know, as fans, we respect that. We admire the will just as much as the skill. Do you understand? Nowadays, it's all shoulder rolls and don't get hit. But we admire fighters who get up off the canvas, bruv. Show us you got the heart, the minerals. Show us that you are a man superior to us. That's why we're watching you. Do you understand? That's why we're watching you fight. That's why we're celebrating you, because you can do something that we can't, a normal person can't. And it was an incredible comeback, bro. It really, really, really was.
Yeah, I could. That, man. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on, G, man. I gotta have you on again with somebody else with a dope.
It's been great, brother.
Man, this was everything, man. Like I said, everybody, if you're not following G Chain right now, you see our brother right now, yours truly, Trey, in the comment section, giving it up for G Chain right now.
Big up, my brother.
Yeah, if you're not following him right now, man, something's wrong with you, especially if you love this sport of boxing that we love so much. Definitely tap in with G, man. You will not be disappointed, man. Thank you, everybody, for watching this episode of the Commissioner's Recap with me. Make sure that you go and download my new single, Topic of Discussion, out now on all streaming services. And don't forget, on the 13th, we're doing a watch party. That's right. We're doing a watch along for the fight with Canelo Alvarez and Crawford. And we're going to definitely, be playing my new single, Trill Freaky, out now. We're going to be out on all streaming services. Once again, G, thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate you coming on, man. And hopefully I can get you on again. You know what I'm saying? I could definitely get you on again, man, because I think everybody liked this. Like Trey said, this was a tremendous show, and I did it a little bit different this time. You know what I'm saying? Did a little bit different this time with the videos and everything. So I had to do something dope. So once again, thank you for coming on, and hopefully I can get you on again, man. Please let the people know where they can reach you.
Yeah, first of all, thanks, Trill, for having me on. It's been long overdue. I love talking boxing, and especially with someone like yourself who knows the sport, it's enjoyable for me then. You know, we're having an informed conversation. And salute to everyone in the chat who's locked in, locked on. And yeah, like Trill said, I'm only on X. I'm old family, you understand? I'm not on anything else. So I'm on X, G Chain. That's it, bruv. You know what I mean? And yeah, like I said, I love talking boxing. I post stuff every day. I reply to everyone as much as I can. So yeah, feel free to ask questions, get involved in the chat. I'm not someone who you have to agree with my opinion and I'll start getting, I'm a grown man, you understand? I like hearing different opinions and I respect what everyone's got to say. So yeah, big up, salute, and yeah, we'll catch up soon, Trill. Yeah.
Yeah, you already. Much love, respect, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Commissioner's Recap. I appreciate you all. We out of here.
Feels good. Feels good. We the topic of discussion. Whisper in the ear, had a blush. Saying what it is, what it was. Baby, we the topic of discussion. Do you want to roll with a boss? You don't gotta worry about the cost. I'm high up, baby, I'm a star. I'm highly up, baby, I'm in charge.